Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me introduce myself. My name is Liebel Hovland, and I'm the Risk Management Services Coordinator here at TAC. Most of you know me because I host most of the webinars that we do, but today I'm the presenter for the webinar, so it's a little bit different for me. So let's get into it. So what is the Employee Safety Equipment Program? For the last several years, we have been doing this program, and this program allows for qualified TAC RMP workers' compensation program participants to select and purchase safety equipment through an online storefront. So for the third year in a row, these are hosted through Amazon Business. To qualify for the safety equipment program, participants have to be members of the TAC RMP Workers' Compensation Program as of January 1st, 2026. Each participant has a predetermined spending limit based on their employee counts in the following workers' comp classification codes. That's the 5506 Street and Road Construction, 9014 Building Maintenance and Custodial Services, and 7720 Law Enforcement. So that is how the amount of funds that you have in this program are determined, okay? So while this program has evolved over the years, the basics of the program remain the same. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's the same this year for 2026. So all qualified members are given a set amount of funds. Again, that's based on the number of employees that you have in those aforementioned class codes. The fund amounts are the same for both law enforcement and for road and bridge. So there's two different funds, one for road and bridge, building maintenance, and one for law enforcement. And those are the same for each member. So if a member has $1,000 in road and bridge funds, there will also be $1,000 in law enforcement funds. Okay. All of the items that are purchased through the safety equipment program must directly support the safety and protection of county employees. And we're going to dive into what that means a little deeper later on, but that is kind of been one of those mainstays of the program, and it has not changed over the years. This year, we have made some significant changes to the program. And I'm going to attempt to go over those two major significant changes on this one slide, but we're going to be talking about those throughout the rest of the presentation as well. In previous years, each of our members used their own county's Amazon business account, and the funds for the program were distributed via a voucher or a claim code. We're not doing that this year. This year, we've created a overall TAC RMP Amazon business account, and each member will have a user login under this account created using a dedicated county.org email. The reason for this is because the way the Amazon business accounts work, you have to have a unique email address. And we know that because we've been using the county's Amazon business accounts for the last couple of years, most of your email accounts are already connected to the county Amazon business account. So we needed to create a unique email address for the members to use on this specific TAC RMP Amazon business account. So funds are going to be assigned to each user on that account, and the county's Amazon business account and funds are going to be kept completely separate. So all purchasing is going to be done through our TAC RMP Amazon business account, and there's no need for claims or claim codes or vouchers. The other big major change that we've made this year, if you've done shopping through the program before, you know that members have had to shop from pre-selected items. We call them catalogs. We have taken out that requirement this year. Now, what that means is that the participants are going to have access to the full Amazon marketplace. Now, that said, the program requirements and the program guidelines remain in effect, but you just won't be limited to shopping from that one catalog. So we're going to discuss in more detail about how purchase approvals enhance this and how in our how-to section a little later on. But just know that this year it's one account We will not be dealing with multiple reps from Amazon. We will have myself and Steph Plover, who is on this presentation with me and working directly with our TAC Amazon rep. So those two changes are big, big, big changes for this year, and we hope that is going to enhance the process for us this year. Let's talk about timeline. Um, from June 17th to June 29th, and we're in what we call the pre-launch timeline. We sent all of the members, the participants, a email last week, letting you know that the program was coming soon, and that we were going to be sending out some emails asking you to look for that. You're going to be you need to have some action items on setting up your account in the Amazon Business or TAC RMP Amazon Business account, and then also announcing these webinars. So I see a question coming in through the chat, and I'm going to go through that in just one second. But so right now, yesterday, the 24th of June, is when two major emails went out. It was an email to the program, to the pool coordinator and to the sheriff, letting them know what the fund amounts were and the login email for the TAC RMP account, and then also an invitation from the Amazon business account asking you to log in and set up a password. So those two emails did go out yesterday. We're going to go over those. We're going to go a little bit more in depth about what those emails said and the steps that need to be taken next in further slides here. But just know that those emails did go out yesterday. The program itself, program purchasing, does not start until July 1st. Okay, that is next Wednesday, July 1st. From July 1st to August 28th is when the purchasing can happen. Okay, August 28th is when our program ends. That is a Friday. There are no returns after that date. There are no funds in your accounts anymore after that date. That is a hard stop for the program. So our question was, you mentioned that we will receive equal credits for R&B and law enforcement. Will we receive separate email accounts for those? Yes. There is a separate login for road and bridge and a separate login for law enforcement. And we're going to go over that in just a minute here. Okay. All right. So we're preparing for our program start right now in our pre-launch phase. Again, we sent out those emails last week alerting the members that a login, fund information account, and account invitations from Amazon Business are going to be sent on June 24th. That was yesterday. Those emails did go out. We know that for some counties, emails from Amazon might need to be whitelisted or they end up in your spam folder or quarantine. This does vary from county to county depending on what or how rigorous your email security is. Now, we can manually go in and forward those emails if needed, but the members are definitely going to need to check your spam filters if you didn't see anything on June 24th. Okay. Now, one of the things that, and again, we've sent those emails, and I have already gotten a couple of emails from people saying, I didn't get an email. I didn't get an email. Those emails go to the pool coordinator for the county and the sheriff for the county. And I am able to tell you who those people are if you don't know, and what their email addresses are that we used if you don't know. But if you didn't receive an email, first and foremost, if you're not the pool coordinator or the sheriff, you would not have gotten those. Okay. So, but if you are the pool coordinator or the sheriff and you didn't get those emails, then that's when you need to email me. My email, I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'll have it later for you. Also my phone number if you'd rather call. But those emails did go out yesterday, and now is the time to let us know if you didn't receive those. Okay. Again, a little bit more information on those logins. It's a separate login for road and bridge maintenance and for law enforcement. These emails that we use for the logins are going to be in a particular format for each county. And they are for use just for this program. Okay. They are either RB, name of county at county.org, or LE, name of county at county.org. So again, those email addresses will forward to the pool coordinator or the sheriff's email, a regular email inbox, okay? Each of those accounts has an assigned budget, okay? You cannot combine the two into one, and they're not transferable to other accounts. So we can't transfer them to like the county's Amazon account. So it's just, the funds are just going to be available in the TAC RMP Amazon business account, and you are going to be using that dedicated county.org email to log into that account. And again, now is the time to let us know if you did not receive those emails. And I can let you know which email address that was forwarding to. I'm going to throw this out here. You can request that the email be forwarded to someone else. We can do that manually. But if a permanent change to that forwarding email address needs to happen, we need a request via email, because those that permanent forwarding change, first of all, we can only have those emails forward to one person. Unfortunately, I can't have them go to 3 or 4 different people. It can only be one person that the emails forward to. And once we change it, it's changed. Okay, can't change it back. So just FYI, if you know for a fact that, say there have been a couple of cases where that person that we were sending it to is no longer with the county, or they're out on leave or whatever, and you need those emails to go to someone else, let us know. But again, it can only be forwarded to one person, and that request does need to be made via email. Okay. So we mentioned that you're going to be using that dedicated county.org email address to log into your account. What you're wanting to do at this point, those account invitations were sent yesterday. You're going to need to find that invitation email from Amazon Business, and it will have come from business@amazon.com. Okay. Look in your spam filter. If it didn't come to your regular inbox, look in your spam filter. If you don't see it, you might also need to check with your IT department and have Amazon.com whitelisted. I know for when we were doing our pilot program, when we were testing this out, our own county.org email, mine got caught in our spam filter, and I had to whitelist it. So just so you know, that may happen. So once you find that email, you're going to want to click in the email. There's a get started or accept invitation button. You click on that. It's going to take you to the account where you're going to log in. You're going to use that email address to log in and set a password. You're going to want to save that password because you're going to be using it to log in going forward. Okay. And when you're going to log into the Amazon business account, when you're going to go make your purchases, always make sure that you are using the dedicated county.org email address. Otherwise, you are not logging into the TAC RMP account. Okay, so make sure that you are using the county.org dedicated email that you are given to log into this TAC RMP Amazon business account. So you can log into your account anytime after you set up your login. And again, that was from yesterday until July 1st. Purchasing is not going to be available until July 1st. I did actually already have one person who tried to make their purchases yesterday, and I love that. I love the enthusiasm, but the purchasing is not actually turned on until July 1st, and you will get an error message if you try to make purchases before July 1st. So when you are in the account, you're going to be able to see what your funds are. And it will update as the purchases are made. We want to make sure that you all know that your allotted funds in this account you cannot go over it. Unfortunately, we will not have an option for you all to add a credit card and go over that amount. Okay. The program shopping ends on Friday, August 28th. This allows you two full months to make purchases in this program. And but don't worry, we will be sending you reminders as the deadlines approach. We're not gonna let it go down without a fight. We're gonna keep on reminding you, make your purchases. We can tell if you have not made your purchases. We can see how much money you have left on our side. So we are going to be sending reminders as deadlines approach so that we don't have anyone who misses the deadline. Okay. But again, they have to be spent by August 28th. They do not carry over. Okay. So this is a big slide. We mentioned earlier that the items that you purchase through the program need to be directly in the support of the safety and protection of county employees. This is going to apply to literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands of items that are eligible for purchase through this program. And what this slide is showing you is just sort of on the green side, these are items that are eligible for purchase using the SEP program, SEP funds. Okay, this is very high level. I get, because there's thousands and thousands and thousands, if not millions, of items that you can purchase. I'm just trying to give you categories of items that you can use, or to find items. We are going to have some example lists for you that you can order from. But again, as we mentioned, you guys are going to have access to the full Amazon marketplace. So these are just some suggestions of items that you can use your funds to purchase. And if you are an absolute loss as what you could possibly spend your money on, we've got law enforcement consultants and risk control consultants that are happy to sit down with you and discuss ideas. I'm happy to sit down with you and discuss ideas. I don't really think that you're going to have any problem finding items that are eligible for purchase under this program. The right side of the slide is items that are not going to be eligible for purchase using SEP funds. This is not a comprehensive list. It would be probably 50 slides if I were to try to come up with a comprehensive list. But we're just trying to give you some general ideas of items that are not going to be applicable for this program. And those are listed here. But remember that the items have to be directly in support of the safety and protection of the county employee, not for the general public. Okay, so that's a big guideline to help you, guide you in what can be eligible for purchase or not eligible for purchase in the program. And if you've got questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we're going to have our contact information here at the end. Again, not comprehensive list, but hopefully giving you an idea of the huge amount of things that you can buy using the funds from this program. So I wanted to kind of go through what your checkout process is going to look like. Once you've selected your items and you go to checkout, there's going to be a few steps. Most of these are pretty familiar if you've ever done any kind of ordering on an Amazon business account. This screenshot here is what it's going to look like when you go to checkout. First, it's going to ask you for your PO number and group, and this is going to automatically be filled out for you. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to, ask us what that is. It's going to be automatically filled out for you. Right underneath that is going to be your budget allocation. This is your funds. Okay, that's the amount of funds that you have. Okay, so that is going to be where you're going to see your dollar amount, and it is going to tick down as you make purchases. Now, underneath that, you're going to be asked to enter your county name and then also your name, you, the purchaser, and that's just so we can track it. And if anybody has a question of who purchased this or whatever, that we can let somebody know that and have that on record. And then you're going to have a field. This one is optional. It's to add any relevant comments for your TAC approver, including your justifications on how your order might fit the program's guidelines. So if there's anything that isn't immediately obvious, this is where you would use that field to let us know what your justification is. Okay. Step 3 is where you're going to fill out your delivery address and preferences. And then step 4 is where you're going to choose the payment method. You're going to select business credit account, okay, formerly paid by invoice. It is important for us to remind you, this is our TAC RMP Amazon business account. All of the orders are going to be charged to the TAC RMP business account. It is literally not possible for your county's Amazon business account to be charged or invoiced because you will not be logged into that account. If you have any questions about that, please, put them in the chat, let us know. But just note that all of the orders are going to be charged to TAC RMP. Your county will not receive an invoice because you are not going to be logged into their account. Okay, you're going to select your shipping speed. Our Amazon business account is always going to give you an option for free shipping. If you choose any expedited option that costs extra, just know that that will count against your fund allocation. So keep that in mind. Once you've reviewed your order, you do need to click that submit your order button down there at the bottom. Again, this is pretty basic Amazon stuff. Most of us have done orders through Amazon. It's the same. You just have to submit your order. But this is where it comes in, because you're where we were talking about the enhanced approvers and enhanced support through approvals. Your order is not going to be automatically fulfilled. What's going to happen is your order is subject to approval by the program coordinators. Again, that is myself and Steph, who is also on here. And you're going to receive an email about whether the items are accepted or rejected. You can also check your order status in your account when you log in. There'll be an option to check your orders, and you'll be able to check your order status in that. We are able to reject singular items while approving the rest. So that means we can go line by line in your order. And if you got 10 things in your order that are totally eligible for the program and one that isn't, you're not having to redo that entire order. You'll just get an email about that one particular item, and we'll send you a note and saying, hey, sorry, this wasn't eligible. And then again, utilize that note if there's something that's not immediately obvious. That does not mean that it'll be automatically approved. It just gives us a better idea of context. And again, you can also always check your order status by just logging into your account and not relying on the emails, especially considering that the emails do have to be forwarded or whatever. So just know that you can log in and check on those orders. So let's talk about tax exemption and shipping. The tax exemption in the Amazon business account is actually determined by the seller, not the item. So for probably at least 95% of the sellers, the tax exemption is going to be automatically applied. If for whatever reason you see a tax in there, it does have to do with the seller and not the item itself. And if you've got questions about that, please, before you hit submit order, contact us and we can see what's up with that. And again, those options are going to have the options for the orders are going to have the options for free shipping, and expedited shipping is going to be counting against your allocated budget if you choose that, but there's always going to have that. You're always going to have that free option. So I want to pause here and just see if any of you have any questions. I'm going to be going through some common questions that we get from people on these next few slides, but I just wanted to stop and see if anybody has any questions. I can see if you're typing in there, so go ahead and do that. But we're going to be answering questions here from here on out. But these next few slides are some of the most frequently asked questions I get about the program. And some of these I've kind of already addressed, but I just kind of want to go over them again and give you a little bit of background on them. So we always get the question, can you combine your law enforcement and road and bridge funds? And the answer to that is unfortunately no. The program's intent is to address employee safety in those two very distinct employee groups with different needs. So you can't combine those funds at all. So another question we have is, if a county doesn't use their funds, can we use them? And unfortunately, no. Those amounts are specific to each member based, again, on the number of employees that you have in previously mentioned the workers' compensation class code. So we're not able to give you another member's funds. So what is your spending limit? Again, the emails that went out yesterday to the sheriff and the pool coordinator have your fund allocations. I'm happy to give you those fund allocations if you want to send me an email. Your consultants have your fund allocations if you want to ask them as well. Um, they will be in your account when you log into your account and the purchasing is turned on July 1st. You will be able to see it in your account. But again, you are not able to go over that amount. We will not have an option for you to add another payment method because all of these orders are being paid for by us, and we won't have an option for you to introduce a separate payment. What if you're under the limit? If you're familiar with Amazon, you know that there's literally billions of items. Add as many items or as many eligible items as you can until you get right up to your limit. Um, try to use as much as you can, and we will be able to tell you, and you will be able to see, if you've got $5 left. I mean, you can get a $4 item or $5 item and use it all the way up to your limit. Okay. This is a big one every year. Are you able to return items? Yes. Same as regular Amazon works, you can return items, but be aware that when you make a return, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to process that return. The funds do not go back to you in a cash format. You can't get cash back on a return. The funds only go back to your account on the TAC RMP business account. And remember that your budget or your funds expire on August 28th. So it is really, really important to not wait until the last minute to make your purchases, because if you have a return and that return happens after August 28th, those funds don't go back to you. They go back to the RMP. So we're really encouraging you to work within the program dates if possible. Do not wait until the last possible minute. So we really hope that everybody takes those words to heart and doesn't wait until August 28th to make your purchases. If you've got any questions about returns, or you haven't seen the funds returned to your account, that's when you contact us and let us know about that. So I want to stop again, see if anybody has any questions. I know this has been a lot, and it is a little bit different than we've done things in the past. So I just wanted to see if anybody has any questions so far, if you've missed anything. If you joined us a little bit late, again, we are recording. This is going to be available to you all. And on that note, while we're looking to see if anybody is typing any questions in, we are going to have an Amazon resource hub for you available just like we did last year. This is kind of what it's going to look like. We're going to have the link to that available for you. I'll put it in the chat here in just a minute, unless Nebula or Steph wants to do that. But we do have an Amazon hub that is going to have all of the instructions that were sent out. It's going to have all of the guides, all of the screenshots. It is also going to have the slide deck from this presentation as well as the recording from this presentation available for you all to watch. And it is going to be linked from our county.org website as well. So here's some contact information for you. Clem is our, okay, so Thomas is asking, he's saying, still looking for the Amazon business email. That's where we set up the password, correct? Yes, those emails were sent yesterday, June 24th. They were sent to the pool coordinator for the county and the sheriff for the county. Okay, if you are not the pool coordinator or the sheriff, you would not have gotten that Amazon business email. If you are and you did not receive it, email us or email me at this email address up here. Check your spam filter. See, make sure it's not there. If you still didn't get it and you are the pool coordinator or the sheriff, please email us at or email me at leeb@county.org, or you can call me. Clem Zabalza is our Deputy Director for Risk Control Services. He's working very closely with us with this program. Your program coordinators that are going to be approving or rejecting the orders are myself and Steph Plover. Steph is on here, and she is is also going to be able to answer any questions you guys might have about the program. We've been working together on the program setup. So Nabila is our Amazon liaison, and she is here as well. She's been working very closely with us, and she knows everything about this program that can possibly be known. And she has put the Amazon Business Resource Hub link in the chat. So you can click on it from there. I also, while I'm waiting to see if any of you have any questions, you have risk management consultants that you may be familiar with. They can help you with this program, or if you need to contact them and ask questions about it, here is their contact information. As well as risk control consultants and law enforcement consultants. The risk control consultants and the law enforcement consultants can help you, especially if you're having trouble figuring out what kind of items you can purchase using the SEP funds. Again, for the Northwest, that's going to be Nick Agarichis. For Northeast, Harold Hall. Southwest, Isaac Garcia. And Southeast, Isaac Garcia. And Southwest, Rudy Estrada. And then same for the law enforcement consultants, Northwest, David Whitus, Northeast, Kenny Lemons, Southeast, Craig Johnson, and Southwest, Carmen Knapp. So any of the consultants, as well as Clem, Steph, and myself, we can answer any questions about the program. I did get an email in here where there'll be another email coming with the link, or is in the first emails that already came. It's I'm not sure which link you're talking about. If you're talking about the link with the Amazon Hub, the link for the Amazon Hub is actually directly above your question in the chat. We will. I can certainly send you an email with that link in it. But if you're talking about the invitation to the Amazon business account, those were in those first emails that already came. So I know this was a lot of information to go over in 30 minutes. So if anybody has any questions, I didn't mean to kind of rush through, but wanted to make sure that we left plenty of time for you all to ask questions about the program. Again, you're welcome to log into the account and get everything set up, get your password set up anytime between yesterday and next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, July 1st, is go time. It's when the purchasing is going to be turned on, and you'll be able to go to town. So I wanted to see if Nabila or Steph have anything that you all wanted to add before we say goodbye.
Thank you so much, Lee. Terrific presentation. I always love listening to it, even though I fully know what's going on with the program too. But really excited to get the program up and running. As Lee mentioned, if anyone needs any help during the process, please feel free to email that TAC email, or Lee, she'll loop in our team from Amazon accordingly so that you do get the help that you need. So do not hesitate to reach out. We'll make sure that if there's any questions or comments coming in, we'll get that addressed. And as Lee mentioned, we'll be getting a recording and a copy of this deck onto that resource hub later today. So folks will have access to that if you hear of anyone who wants to rewatch this or watch it for the first time. In addition to the second training that's coming up, they'll have access to it on this site. So thank you, Lee, for hosting this. Super helpful and very informative. Excited to get folks purchasing.
Thanks, Nabila. I do want to point out that the presentation that we're having on Monday is just this presentation again. So if you've already watched this and you feel like you're in a pretty good place, there's no need for you to come on Monday as well. But if there's somebody else, the one on Monday is going to be at 2 p.m. But if there's somebody else that you might think needs to be able to ask questions live or whatever instead of just watching this presentation, there is another presentation of this presentation on Monday at 2 p.m. So we had a great question here in the chat. Are there quantity limits to certain products? For example, if Road and Bridge wants to build a reserve on safety glasses. No, there's not. you can spend your funds on whatever you want, or however many safety glasses as you'd like. So you just put those quantity amounts in there. Now there may be limitations by seller. You may run into that. So you may need to source them from different sellers. That's something that we've run into when we've been trying to build up reserves for, gloves or something like that. You may run into that. But as far as our program goes, if you wanted to spend every single dime of your funds on safety glasses, there's no limitation on that. Does anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, thank you all for coming today. We really appreciate it. I'm really excited about the changes that we've made this year. I'm really hoping that this process works smoothly for everyone. I think it will. And we're really looking forward to next week and the next 8 weeks. And again, any questions, any comments, or any help needed, just please don't hesitate to reach out to us. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lee.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lee.